Welcome to Tomato Talk Tuesday. I'm still putting things together for us here, friends. Is up and going. The chat looks like it's up and going. Let's make sure that we are all set. Okay. I think we're live. Welcome to Tomato Talk Tuesday. I am Brian. This is Prewitt Homestead. I lost my chat. Hang on, y'all. I don't know where it went. It just disappeared. Man, I am fired up. I've been out here putting things together for us tonight in the greenhouse. And man, we got worms. And so that's sort of exciting in that I get to share with you what it's like to have a worm infestation. And we're going to look for worms tonight because they're here. What does that mean? What does it mean for me here in the house? Hey, Rachel, Kevin, I'm so glad you're here. Brian Allen, thanks for coming and hanging out. It's much time, man. We're going to be eating one tonight. We're going to have our first Cherokee Purple tonight. Man, I've been coveting that tomato. I've been protecting it. Man, I've been massaging it. It's going to be fantastic. We're really looking forward to it. We've been eating a lot of tomato sandwiches with Duke's mayonnaise. So if there's anybody on here watching from Duke's, I need you to send me my check for promoting y'all and your mayonnaise. It means the chicken get good stuff. Some of those chickens don't know what to do with a worm. Some of those new chickens that we've got, man, I'll throw a worm out there. They just stare at it, they'll scratch it, and that's it. They go about their business. But we're picking tomatoes, y'all. We're picking tomatoes every day on Sunday. Now I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed with all the harvesting that we're doing. I've got cucumbers right back here. I mean, you see them? That's in the greenhouse. That's nothing compared to what we have out in the front yard. I'm harvesting bowls full of cucumbers every day. We got pickling cucumbers. So there's so much going on. I'm going to be picking beans possibly tomorrow. I was looking at them, just doing a buy right on my way to work today. And it looks like the beans are just about ready to pick. And so once we start beans, we got to start canning beans, right? But this part we can them. Part of our supply food. First tomato and Anaheim pepper went in the taco salad tonight. Man, that's fantastic, Kevin. How was that Anaheim pepper? I'm so excited to hear about that because I know you love Anaheim peppers, and that's fantastic. So up here in these tomatoes, there are hornworms, and I even found one on a pepper. Let me show this pepper real quick, and let me show you. Everybody knows tomato hornworms will go after peppers, and they don't care what kind of pepper it is. It could be a hot pepper, it could be a bell pepper. This was a Calhoun cayenne that it went after, and I just missed it, y'all. And it doesn't take but a moment to this. This right here is a tomato plant that got hit last night, right? If you can see just the devastation, right? I mean, they just came in and they put it on it. It was one worm, and it just ate the snot. That's what we're dealing with, man. I've got these bigger plants, you know, a lot more leaves. Well, look at that. Man, I tell you, I got to spray tonight, y'all. I got to mix up some BT, and I've got to spray because look right here. Look. Tomato hornworm right there. Bam. God bless us all. Rachel, my plants are growing and looking good, but just not. Um, because I know that waiting for that first harvest, that's tough. It's tough. I know that it's great anticipation, right? Here's the worm that I found on this pepper over here, friends. Right? You see how he thinks he's gonna hurt me with that horn, right? That horn don't do nothing, right? They will bite you a little bit, right? That horn, it ain't gonna do nothing, right? You see that? And that's just a nasty bugger right there. That's chicken food. Man, they make me mad. But let me show you what it did to my my cowhorn cayenne. Don't get dizzy. Don't get drunk. Hey, Brandy. God bless. I'm so glad you're here. Brandy is one of our dear sisters from church, and I miss seeing her face. So see, look at this beautiful lush growth right here. Right, this is what this plant's supposed to look like. Here's what happened, right? You can see it just ate it down to the nub, right? Thank goodness, peppers do a great job of putting on new growth, right? And I've got a crown right here. So what I can do, let me grab my snips, right? What I could do is I could just come in here and I'll just snip that off, right? And it'll just put the energy right here. This one, I'll just snip it right there. No problem. We're good. Look at these beautiful peppers in here. Man, they're just fantastic peppers. I got a nice one here. Man, we'll go ahead and pick that. Beautiful, beautiful. Cowhorn cayenne. Look at the color. Man, I love it. Absolutely love it. That is a backer worm there, Miss Brandy. A backer worm. Man, you sound like my granddaddy. That's exactly what he would say. A backer worm. Rachel, yes, does look good. We're so excited. So, friends, if you gotta stay on top of your plants. I didn't, and this is what I got. You know, that worm might be 2 days old that's in that cup, right? Here's another one, right? Check this out, friends. These are the suckers that I pulled and just stuck in some pots. And look how healthy they are, right? This one here, this one's set in tomatoes, and it's in a 3-inch pot, friends. Look, you see? And we got tomatoes on it, but we also got a tomato hornworm on there. You see that? Everywhere. They're just where, man, it just kills me. When you work as hard as I do on growing a good tomato, and you come out and you run into some mess like this, it's pretty aggravating. Used to pick it. I picked tobacco one time, and that was the hardest work I've ever done, Randy. I got to hang out up at the top of the barn one time, and that was hard work. So yeah, over here, let's why don't we do this? We're gonna give you about 75 seconds to spot the hornworm, and 2 of you are gonna win. If you're local, this is for local people. 2 of you are gonna win mammoth basil. We're gonna give 2 of these plants away, and all you got to do is say, "Found it." Right? So I'm gonna set a timer, 75 seconds, right? And Man, my producer quit again. Man, he said something about the paycheck, so I don't have any help tonight. Let's see, clock. Get out of here. Thanks for being patient with me, friends. 75 seconds. And I'm going to take you over here. You, if you can spot the tomato hornworm. Starting now. Time is counting down, friends. Can you see the tomato hornworms? Just say, found it. They're so easy to find. Right? That's not the only ones. I hope you see them there, right? When you're looking at your plants, right? Take a look for poop. Right? I know that's nasty, but there's some poop right there. Right? I found this bugger over here. There's one over here. I don't know if you can see him. Did you see how he was hiding under there? Man. So we got an infestation, friends. Infestation of the tomato hornworm. I know y'all saw that, so first two people that said found it, you get mammoth basil, and it's going to be fantastic. There's the timer. No, Noelle doesn't count. My wife. Y'all win mammoth basil. It's fantastic. Love to eat mammoth basil on our tomato. Haven't tried that, man. It's fantastic. You as a substitute for lettuce, you know, that old bland iceberg lettuce, romaine lettuce, that ain't got nothing on mammoth basil. Took some mammoth basil, stuck it in a hydroponic pot, right? And I have been feeding it hydroponic nutrients. Friends, y'all take a look at this. Is this beautiful or what? I mean, look at that. That's basil, y'all. That is beautiful basil. 2 leaves of that on a sandwich. That's all you need. And it's wonderful. Isn't that great? We absolutely love it. This is a red bell pepper. I do have...
Me, I found it. I found it.
There's the wife, y'all. There's the wife.
Just kidding.
I do have some red bell pepper, so if you would rather have a red bell pepper, we could do that for Brian and Savannah. But if you'd like the mammoth basil, man, we would love to give it to you for finding the tomato hornworms. Like I said, I got 2 plants in this pot, and I got a feeling it's going to go a long, long way, and it's going to do well feeding us on our sandwiches. It's so much better than lettuce. We've been putting it in our sandwiches, or actually in our hey DCBs, I'm so glad you're here. We've been putting, hey, you gonna bring that tomato out pretty soon?
I sure am.
We're gonna slice a tomato here in a few minutes.
It says 7:45.
All right, that'll work. 7:45. 7:45. We're gonna slice the Cherokee purple. That is huge basil. It is, but man, you got to get some of this DCBs. We've been putting it in our salads for the last 2 years, and you want to talk about just taking a salad to another level. That mammoth basil does it. It's not like V's basil. I don't describe it. See, maybe. Yeah. Everybody grow mammoth basil. Seem to bolt as quick as, say, Thai basil or holy basil or what is lemon basil. It holds down pretty well, bolting, and it's great sandwiches, made in a salad. You used it as like a sandwich wrap or like a taco wrap and made tacos out of it. It's good stuff, right? I know here we are. Tuesday, we're talking about basil. That's, we like basil, like basil tomatoes. Oh, I got dry, y'all. A couple of weeks ago, I told you about German Johnson, different coloration when it starts turning, right? I told you that like big beef goes from orange to red, but German Johnson goes pink, goes red, and I've got a perfect example for it. I wanted to show that. Hope it's represented well on the camera. Hey, Urban Harvest, I'm so glad you're here. Urban Harvest, if you are in our area, you can get, so we have you. So this, I'm gonna get it up there, close friends. This is beef, okay? And you can see how orange the color on that. At least I hope you can, right? It's really hard sometimes with cameras, but I'm gonna bring German Johnson up right next to it. I hope you can see the difference. German Johnson is pink, and I hope you can see that, right? I think it's more in the Brandywine family, but that's a good tomato, and you see the size is really nice, right? Cracking, we get cracking because it's a thin skinned tomato, right? Big beef has been bred to not crack. It has a very thick skin, so cracking is not as prevalent as it is with German Johnson. But that color, y'all, and it will go red. It'll go all the way red, but it goes pink first. Isn't that beautiful? Compared to big beef, right? There's the two. Man, I hope y'all can see that. Does a hornworm taste like its diet? Wonder how they would be better. Oh God, brother. Nice green juicy inside. I don't think I'm gonna try it, brother, but you let us know. You let us know. And let me know if you need a crop. I mean, because I could harvest some for you today. Good, can't complain. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Dallas Fort Worth. That's gonna be a ride for Mammoth. And then, so check this out. Here is purple, right? Let's do a color comparison there, right? You can see the purpleness of that, the black, dark green stripes. Isn't that fantastic, friends? Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Man, that's going to be a good sandwich right there, right? Great color. Cracking, yes, it is an heirloom. Heirlooms, they just crack, man, and it's because of the water. They swell, they crack, and then they shrink back, and that's how that works. Yeah, Brandy. Yeah, I would have good, right? Okay, again, big beef, orange, Cherokee purple, dark green, blackish stripes. It's beautiful. Sunday night, vegetables have a natural wax, and you can buff them up, right, and make them look good. They actually do that with your produce in the grocery store. There's a machine they run them through, and it'll buff those tomatoes and make them shine, make them pretty, and make you want to buy that tasteless, horrible grocery store tomato, right? That's kind of got a sheen to it now. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Cherokee purple, y'all. So there's the color variations that the tomatoes grow in here. You know, we've already talked about cosmic eclipse, right? Y'all have that, but I'll go ahead and bring you back over here. Cosmic eclipse is just black, y'all. Look at that. I mean, is that awesome or what? Beautiful tomato. Yeah, while I'm thinking about it, let me get that worm right there. Get that worm. We'll put it in our bucket. We'll get that worm. We'll get that worm. Right? They sure hold on good. That's chicken food, y'all. Put in our cup. There's another one back here. Let's find him. I thought there was another one. It's here somewhere. Yeah. I'll go back through these, but we're going to spray. Look, right there. See that? I'm going to spray these plants tonight with, right? We talked about tea before. Bacillus thuringiensis, and it does a great job. Kevin had to go out and check my plants. Have been lucky so far, yeah. Keep an eye on them, friends. Give those worms to Chris Carter for bet. It's the truth, man. I tell you what, tomato hornworms are pretty good fish bait, but Chris Carter has got a skill that he is teaching me: fly fishing for red breast. Y'all, I mean, Chris Carter's, he's got it going on. If you ever want a guided trip down the Ogeechee River, y'all got to pay for it now. I mean, this is a working man. But if you want a guided trip down the Ogeechee River, fly fishing for redbreast, Chris Carter's the one. I ain't telling you. I mean, he's just got it. Yeah. So yeah, here in 5 minutes, Noelle is going to bring out the Cherokee Purple, the beautiful Cherokee Purple, by my beautiful wife, and we're going to slice that thing up, and it's going to be delicious. What kind of questions do you have? What was that? What was that? DCB's, hey S and MJ's Garden, good to see you here. I thought I heard vinegar water wash. Vinegar water wash. I don't know what that is. I would never spray vinegar on my tomatoes. I feel like vinegar would burn them. So I don't think I would do that. Much of gardening is still very new to me. Yeah. So yeah, I would never spray vinegar on my tomatoes. That would probably burn the leaves. But I spray Bacillus thuringiensis, BT. Let me grab the bottle. I got the bottle here somewhere. There it is. Monterey BT. So friends over at Monterey, y'all go ahead and send me a check, because I'm advertising your product. Monterey BT, Bacillus thuringiensis. Let me see if I can get up close. This is the stuff right here. It takes about 2 tablespoons per gallon. Put it in your sprayer and spray the whole plant. Spray the undersides of the leaves, spray the top, and you can spray the fruit also. You won't have any problems spraying the fruit. A lot of people get really nervous about spraying pesticides and it getting on their food. Friends, this is going to be okay. And after 24 hours, you're not going to have any issues. You're not going to have any fish issues even if you ate it right after you sprayed it. But 24 hours is what they recommend. You could still wash your fruit, even if you're a little bit nervous about it. I've got a neighbor over here. I picked a fresh cucumber right off the plant, and you know, I hadn't sprayed that with anything, and I offered it to her, and she was like, I can't eat that, I gotta wash it first. And I was like, all right, there's nothing I can do about that. Brian Brandy says, how many tomato plants does it take to feed a family of 2 or 3? Good question, Brandy. Fantastic question. 2 or 3, you know, I would say probably 7 plants. We have 30 plants here, and it gives us an abundance of tomato plants. And hi. It gives us an abundance of tomatoes. It all depends on what you like to eat. right? If you want to eat tomatoes every single day, plant 10 plants. That plenty of tomatoes, and that way you've got a few to share as well. You will get tired of eating tomatoes. I promise. Brian said
You're asking
neem
the right
spray helps by hiding the smell of the tomato plant, like marigolds. Seen any with parasitic wasp eggs yet? No, I haven't seen any worms with parasitic wasp eggs. May I hold that for
Yes, you can.
you? Cool. She's gonna slice this tomato, y'all. We're gonna eat it right in front of you.
So Thornton wants to see a Cherokee purple.
I sent him a picture of
Ah.
that. And Thornton, there it is, buddy. That's gonna that tomato right there will change your whole life. Friends, when I met my wife, right? This is a true story. I'm not lying. I said, Noelle, baby, you want me to get you a chair?
Nope, I'm good.
Are you sure? Why don't you sit down?
I'm looking for a worm.
I already got him.
I heard you couldn't find one.
I found him.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I found him.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, he moved. First met my wife, I said, we went to lunch. We're kind of getting to know each other. And I said, how do you feel about gardening? That's what I want to do. I want to garden all the way around my tiny house.
That's what it said, girls.
So I gave her her entire wish. And she got a hunk. She got a hunk and a garden all the way around
Tiny house.
her tiny house. So here we are. And I also told her, I said, look, you won't eat tomatoes out of season. And I said, you're going to eat a Cherokee Purple. It's going to change your life.
I didn't believe it.
You'll never want another tomato in your life. And she laughed at me. Everybody laughs at me when I tell them about the Cherokee Purple.
Tomatoes in general. But yeah. But guess what? I send tomatoes back.
Here we are. Yes. Thornton, come by. Man, I'll give you a Cherokee Purple, and I'm ready to change your life.
If this had been ripe yesterday, you might have had some, but wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
So I brought the knife.
You want to do the honors?
No, I'd rather you do it,
Okay.
actually.
We can do that.
You want to...
I think I'm okay.
All right.
Ooh, y'all, man. Oh, God, look
I'm
at that
excited.
tomato. Look at
Oh, you got to show them that.
look at the inside.
Show that.
Right there, friends. That's what Cherokee Purple is all about. You see how meaty that is? You see how small the seed cavities are? That's what Cherokee Purple is all about. That's what makes it the perfect tomato sandwich tomato.
Yep.
It is. It's just the truth. Yeah. That's right, DCBs. It is going to make a perfect tomato sandwich. But we got to taste it raw.
It makes me nervous cutting these tomatoes with this knife.
Yeah, Mama used to say that too. Oh my God, that's just fantastic.
And I might just have to cut off a piece of mammoth basil and eat it with that bad
God
boy on the
bless us.
second bite.
Here you go,
Can I eat it first?
if you'd like. Friends, Cherokee Purple.
Oh my God.
Cherokee Purple, y'all.
Y'all will never want another tomato after you taste this.
My God.
Here's a napkin.
I got a napkin.
I need another one. But I'm going to have a piece of basil with it. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So good.
I hope y'all can hear my wife.
I could hear myself when I yelled when I was walking in the door. So sure they could.
There you go. Need some pepper on it?
No.
Have you some?
No seasoning. Oh, you didn't cut it all the way.
My bad.
All right. Basil.
Basil. Tomato.
Oh!
Oh no.
Oh!
Well, here you go.
Oh, yeah, I can't
You
eat
can't
that.
eat that.
I'm not dropping this.
Oh, God bless
I'm
us.
going to go get this to the chickens.
Yeah. There it is, y'all. Cherokee Purple. If you've never had this tomato, seek it out, right? Go and find somebody. Put an ad on Craigslist, $100 for a Cherokee Purple tomato because it's worth every penny. Brian Allen, yep, S&P. Salt, pepper, yes.
You want me to take that?
Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Y'all, give it up for my hot wife over here.
Woo! See y'all later.
Thanks, babe. Appreciate you. So yeah, Cherokee Purple, it is the best tomato I've ever eaten. It's what changed my life. It's what made me become the tomato farmer that I am. Brandy, thanks for the question about how many tomatoes. That was fantastic. What other questions do y'all have? I'm going to scroll back up here for just a second. I can see it's nice and firm. You're right, DCBs. It is a nice firm tomato. And it's just do you like fried green tomatoes? Of course I like fried green tomatoes. Yes. I did meet over the week. Um, I'm just kidding. I love everybody. But there are some people that don't care for tomatoes. I'm not worried about me. I don't use pesticides or weed killers. That's great. Not interested in pesticides. Thanks. Good. Brian Allen, thank you for the info about the neem. That's awesome. Let's see. What is that? A tomato. How does it taste? Yes. Got that. Alright, I think I am caught up on questions. What are the questions? Let's talk about tomatoes. Let's talk about growing gardens, right? We are, if I had to guess, here in southeast Georgia, we're about mid-season, okay, for tomatoes. Once the temperature reaches 5 degrees consistent, tomato production goes to almost zero. And the reason being is high temperatures or above 75 makes the pollen, which is the male portion of the tomato flower, makes the pollen unviable. So they won't pollinate. And you get a lot of what's called blossom drop. So the flower will open, it won't pollinate, it'll close up and just fall off. And above 75 degrees, that's what we get. And so about mid-July is when that hits pretty heavy. That's when we're pretty consistent, above 75. But if you can keep your tomato plants alive into the fall, you could get a second crop. You could get a second season out of tomatoes. A lot of people will actually plant a second season's worth of tomatoes in mid-August, right? Because we want to give that tomato plant plenty of time to grow and get mature before it starts setting fruit. So you can grow tomatoes in the fall. But here in southeast Georgia, once those temperatures get up and they get high, bug pressure gets really high, right? Because they're looking for stuff to eat. We move into what's called a dearth, okay? And a dearth is when there is a lack of food, right? So they start getting voracious about going after everything. A great example is squash vine borers, right? We're probably about to start seeing a really heavy load of squash vine borers, I would say, within the next 20 days. So if you're growing squash and you're in southeast Georgia, you're probably going to see some pretty heavy pressure. I have never been able to successfully defeat squash vine borers myself, right? If you've got the cure, please share it with us. I've heard of people wrapping it in plastic, wrap the stem in plastic, wrap it in aluminum foil. I've heard of people putting bug netting over the plants at night so that the moth can't come and lay eggs. That, logically, to me, that makes sense, especially with young, small plants. You can put bug netting over them, drape it over them, and you really, really protect them and reduce the amount of pressure from that moth. But overall, we're about mid-season here in southeast Georgia, so we've got another good 30 to 45 days of growing and harvesting, right? Come mid-July, 1st of August, it's over because it's just too hot. And what we do, right? We normally will just shut off, because we grow hydroponic tomatoes. We'll just shut off the nutrients and we'll let the plants die. We might even go in and just cut the stems off and let them die back, and then pull them down and do the cleanup. I have never grown a fall set of tomatoes. I might do it this year. You never know. We'll see what happens. As far as the greenhouse tomatoes go, I'm going to do what I can to keep those going all the way into winter. I might even plant some new plants in here. I'm not sure yet. We'll feel it out. We'll see what's up. I am having a problem keeping keeping enough water on these, because I do work a job during the day. I'm not here all the time to make sure that they've got enough moisture. So I have come out here a few times, and they're wilted, they're dry, and that can cause great problems. A plant will actually put out an enzyme and invite bugs to kill it when it's stressed out. So you want to keep your plants as lightly stressed as possible, because they will invite bugs to come and actually just take them out. It's crazy, but that does happen. It's very common with peppers. If a pepper gets overly stressed, it'll put out an enzyme, will come and invade, and we'll just plant up. If y'all don't have any additional questions, I want to give you about 5 more minutes for any questions that you might have. If you got any comments about tomato hornworms, if you got any comments about pesticides, whatever it is you would like to share right here on Tomato Talk Tuesday, here's your opportunity. Here's a great time to chat with everyone here. We are so grateful you choose. There's a worm. That's a little was in the cup to the chicken. We're grateful that you choose Prewitt Homestead to come and hang out with on Sunday nights and on Tuesday nights. I gotta tell you, it's wonderful to be appreciated the way that you appreciate it. Please share this with your friends, right? It's important to us that we get the word out there. We are trying to grow Prewitt Homestead. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow our Facebook presence, our Instagram presence. We want to get the word out there about who Prewitt Homestead is. I did not in the beginning. If this is your first time visiting with us, we live on a 1/4 acre piece of property in the middle of a subdivision, and we have gardens in our front, gardens in our backyard. We don't have an HOA here, so we don't have that regulatory thing going on. We grow about 80% of all the vegetables we consume right here on this piece of property. We have an egg layer flock that gives us 100% of all the eggs we consume, and then we also raise meat chickens twice a year. We practice subsistence agriculture. Our mission statement is be self-sufficient and encourage others, and that's what this time is all about. Our time here that we spend live and we spend at events and when we do garden tours, that's our time to encourage you, right? We want more people in our community and in your community. This is global. This right here is a global reach. We want to encourage people all over the world to grow some food and be a little bit more sufficient. It's a dying art. There's a lot of people that have just walked away from it. There's so many people in the world that have McDonald's the way of life, right? That's what they feed their children. It's what they feed themselves. It's always on the go. It's always about convenience. And there is a different way of life, and we want to share that with you. We want to encourage you to slow down just a little bit, plant seeds, and supplement your grocery bill by growing a little bit of food in your yard. you could still grow food in your backyard, even with an HOA. There's medicinal herbs you can put in your front yard. Beautiful flowers, and to say that you're not just decorating your front yard, it's just landscaping. Even if you have an HOA, there are opportunities to supplement what you're doing in your home for your family, right? Man, one of my favorite people, our pastor at church, he is in an HOA community, but friends, let me tell you, he is growing the heck out of some groceries over at that house. Man, he's getting his kids involved. He's getting his kids involved in growing food and learning about growing food, so that maybe one day they'll be encouraged, right, to say, hey, my dad taught me how to do this and I can feed myself. I don't have to depend on the Walmart, or I don't have to depend on the Food Lion to provide me with what they say is good, right? Check out my air quotes now. They're telling you what's good for you and your family, right? And that's not their business. You get to choose what's good for you and what's good for your family, your kids, and your grandkids, not the rest of the world. That's not their place. So I hope you're encouraged by that statement. I hope you find space in your yard, right? Go get a bucket, drill some holes in the bottom, throw some dirt in there, and get a plant and plant it, right? I think it'll change your life. I know it did for me. I'll tell this story, man. I'll keep on telling this story. I was standing in front of the tomato bin at Food Lion, and I was just craving a good tomato sandwich. And I knew in my heart those tomatoes were not going to fulfill the need that I had, right? Or the desire that I had for a good tomato sandwich. And I left there, I walked away, and I went and bought a tomato plant, and I grew it in my front yard. And it changed the way I look at food. It changed the way I look at our food system, more specifically, right? When we take a look at the vegetables and the fruits in those big box stores, where does it come from, right? Number one, where does it come from? Who grew it? Country of origin. Who grew it? What was that guy? Who harvested it? And what type of slavery were they living under, right? Our vegetable and fruit system is very much part of the slave system. And, you can deny it all you want, but I'm telling you right now, it's not good, right? Our fruits and vegetables come from South America, from California, right? Big bunch of our fruits and vegetables come from California. And I'm not going to lie to you, there's a lot of people over there using people from across the border to harvest that stuff, and they are not treated very well at all. So with that being said, I will digress. Friends, it's 8:01. I'm not going to keep you anymore. Thanks for hanging out with me here on Tuesday night, talking about tomatoes, hunting down the tomato hornworms. Man, thanks for finding them. Savannah and Brian, get in touch with me so I could get you some plants, man, because I want you to enjoy some of this mammoth basil or some of these red bell peppers. Whatever you want to do, I'll put them in your hands. Friends, I love you. I wish the best for you. God bless, and we'll see you next Sunday.